Yeah, my name is Acting Sergeant Llew O'Brien, officer in charge, Kilkivan Police Station. One of the vehicles has been travelling westbound and the other has been travelling eastbound, and for some reason they've collided head on. Despite our best efforts, and we're working our absolute hardest to try and prevent this from happening, people have to be mindful of the things that are going to cause these accidents to happen once again. The fatal five. These accidents are preventable. Most of them are preventable, and it's an absolute tragedy. When you've done the things that I've done in terms of road safety and you've seen the things that I've seen, obviously becomes a passion to stop it, and that's why I'll fight for these upgrades in a way that other politicians won't. The $107 million proposed design is one that is already killing Queenslanders. The two-lane proposal doesn't meet the highest possible road safety standards, and it does not meet community expectations. 2 lanes of high-speed traffic travelling head-on is a recipe for disaster.
Well, that has a ripple effect through the community. Anyone that's lost a loved one in a fatal crash, it is devastating. Absolutely devastating. You know, the days of building roads where opposing traffic is separated by white lines, got to come to an end. It's got to come to an end.
If you truly have a vision for zero fatalities, you don't build the road the government is planning to build around Tiaro. It is just not good enough. In my view, everything justified this not just being a flood immunity project that was actually going to take 50km/h cars into a non-divided 100km/h zone, which was obviously a backward step in terms of safety. So when the press release was given to me, that was political garbage, that this was a safety upgrade. It wasn't, and I got offended that it was. So I publicly tore their press release to pieces and said I wasn't going to sign it. I wasn't going to agree to creating a road that was going to kill people. And it evolved from there. And I called on both Mark Bailey and Michael McCormack, who I said at the time I believed were genuine about road safety, to do the right thing. After that, Mark Bailey took the very political strategy of attacking me personally and my integrity, which happens in politics. This is about building a road that is going to save people like your brother, your sister, your kids, your grandkids, your grandparents. That's what this is about. This is not about a game, and I said that to him. I said, Mark, this is not a game for me.
Ridiculous to think of building a bypass where opposing traffic is separated by a white line.
I don't know what Mark Bailey's road was. To me, it was like a Frankenstein type road that was a political fix.
What's planned outside Tiaro is not good enough. It betrays a vision of zero fatalities. It does betray a vision of zero fatalities. This is the national highway. We have to do everything we can. I'm sorry, I don't feel like it's a shiny shovel day today. I don't feel like it's a day to celebrate, because there's a lot of work to do. We've just got to build this road and then build the Tiaro Bypass to the same standard as this.
Well, the Bruce Highway has grown tremendously in amount of traffic travelling on it over the last few years, 5 to 10 years in particular. It's tenfold of what it was a few years ago. Where our mill is situated on Wilson's Road, a truck pulling out onto the highway turning north there in particular has got nowhere to go if a car comes over the hill from either direction. How there hasn't been an accident there is absolutely good fortune, more than good luck, I think.
It's all about safety for us. Our fleet travels between 1.3, 1.4 million kilometres per month. On a two-lane highway, there's not a lot of room between two semi-trailers coming in opposite directions.
There is the demand. You can see the traffic that is flowing through here at the moment. It is absolutely constant, but it's not that we are building a road for today. Governments should be building for the future.
My philosophy upon entering Parliament has been, if you build it, they will come. And if you build the infrastructure to support industry and support society, the jobs will come.
Llew O'Brien is just a very hard-working member for his electorate, and the number of times he and I have spoken about how we can create jobs, particularly here in Queensland, and particularly here around Maryborough especially.
And that's the philosophy I've taken also with the Tiaro Bypass. I know there are business people, both in Maryborough and Tiaro, that just need a few things to go right for them, this road included, and they're going to employ a lot more people.
Now, we do have some fairly big plans to expand Tiaro going forward. This new bypass and a new approaches to the highway will certainly help us. We'll create probably 30 to 40 jobs.
Once you build 4 lanes to Maryborough Harvey Bay, people will come.
Their comments were, well, when the federal government comes up with the funding, well, they would take it under consideration. Well, Llew got the money. We got the money, and it was announced.
Now, Llew O'Brien, the member for Wide Bay, has been fighting hard for this, and today he has delivered on behalf of the Liberal Nationals government in Canberra. He cares. He understands better than anyone how important this is, and having been a police officer for many, many years.
Barnaby Joyce wrote directly to Mark Bailey, asking him to make this a high priority and that the federal government will make the funding for this project available as soon as they can design and start the construction of it.
The governments at all levels to start and plan 4 lanes from Gympie to Tiaro and then through to Maryborough.
That section between Gympie and Tiaro and further north, those sections filled with the same standard of highway that is now proposed to be built around Tiaro.
It affects families, it's just horrendous. And if we can stop that, it needs to be done. And the people responsible for building the roads need to bear that in mind.
The state government own the Bruce Highway in Queensland. It is their highway. So I hope they do the right thing. I hope they don't waste time. I hope they aren't stubborn, thinking that they were dragged kicking and screaming to this project, so therefore they won't build it in a timely way. I'm going to be keeping an eye on all of these things, and as long as I'm in Parliament, as long as I'm representing the people of Wide Bay, I think they know from my track record that I'm going to go after anyone that gets in the way of this bypass being built on time.